one second.
Good morning.
Hi, kids. A hot tea, please.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. I'm your host, Stefanie Miller. Thanks so much for joining us. Home ownership has been made possible to thousands of families thanks to Habitat for Humanity. In fact, the application process for Habitat for Humanity of Montgomery County opens up today. The builds you see behind me, these homes, well, this is what a completed build looks like. Coming up, we're going to hear what you need to know about the application process, and if you happen to be selected as one of the applicants, what work goes into that home ownership. We'll have that coming up for you. And at the end of the show today, do stick with us, because if you don't live in Montgomery County, we will have where you need to turn to find your local Habitat for Humanity. But first, we want to hear from one homeowner who received her home through Habitat. She shares with us the excitement of going through the process.
I received enough help to make it very clear for me. The people that I've been in contact with, they're so kind. They make it easy. I was actually at work when I found out. I cried. I was so happy. Last year was a little different from the other years. We kind of started late, so I wasn't, sure. I didn't hear back from any for a while, for a couple months, and I was like, I don't know if I got it. I got that phone call. I was so happy. I actually work with one of my cousins. We celebrated at work. But I have a son, so it solidifies my stability.
It was so nice to meet Naya. Thank you again for talking with me back in 2024. Now let's get a check of our headline.
Hello, here's the latest news and weather from Main Street Media TV. Tennessee 5th District Congressman Andy Ogles introduced a resolution to amend the U.S. Constitution, allowing presidents to serve up to 3 terms rather than the current 2, despite its slim chances of passing. Bridgestone Americas is shutting down its Laverne tire plant on July 31st, affecting around 700 jobs, as part of strategic initiatives to optimize its business and improve U.S. operations. Solomon Henderson, the 17-year-old who fatally shot a fellow student and himself at Antioch High School, had previously attended 2 Clarksville Montgomery County schools. Former East Nashville head coach Jamal Stewart has been announced as an assistant coach for JP2 football, joining newly appointed Knights coach Rock Batten. Jim and Nick's BBQ restaurant is set to inaugurate its 8th Tennessee location at 111 Airborne Center Road on February 19th, with a grand opening ceremony featuring a check presentation by local authorities and community figures. For more news and weather, visit us online at mainstreetmediatn.com. Thanks for watching.
This holiday season, the largest lantern festival in the country returns to Nashville Zoo. Experience more than 1,000 all-new, handcrafted lanterns, towering creatures, magical worlds, and a North Pole village. At the center of it all, the Smashville Ice Rink. Welcome back to Zoolumination at Nashville Zoo. Bigger, brighter, and better than ever.
You're seeing the signs too, right?
What signs?
Welcome back to Mornings on Main Street. The big thing for you to know is that home ownership is possible and it is available here in the Montgomery County area. It is through Habitat for Humanity. To share more on the application process, which opens up today at 9 o'clock this morning. So this is Monday, January 27th at 9 a.m. So that is today. do know that, but to tell us more, we have the operations director. We have Kate Gauf with us. First off, thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
It's an exciting time.
It
I would
is,
think,
very
for
much
you
so.
guys.
So we are going to be accepting applications until February 10th at 5 p.m. We have opportunities in the Restore to fill out the application online. There'll be a kiosk set up here for individuals to come fill out that application. And then links will be available online as well, and they'll be email blasted at 9 a.m. So if you already signed up for our newsletter, that's coming to you at 9 a.m. right to your inbox.
So for people who don't receive your newsletter, where can they get this information, or what can they tell their friends where they can go to get the information?
So it's habitatmctn.org/apply, and there'll be a huge big link in red probably. I'll probably make it super easy to find.
So something that you just can't miss. For those who go through this process, because you typically receive how many applications?
About 150.
And you select how many this year will you receive?
Well, we will be selecting 5 families this year.
What do you hear from those families?
So we just dedicated 2 houses in December, and one of them came by yesterday, and they said it's so nice to have heat in their home. So that's just great to hear. Before they didn't have heat in their house, and now they have heat in their house. The other families rave about the process. We have one who's finished her sweat equity, meaning her volunteer hours, and she says, I tell everyone about Habitat and how they should apply for Habitat because of how much I've learned and how I'm going to have a better future. So it's really great.
So you just said she's mentioned how much she has learned. What do you mean by that? What do they learn through this process?
So once you're selected, you have to go through home ownership education classes. During that time frame, they teach you about budgeting, how to be a good neighbor, fiscal responsibility, how to take care of your lawn, how to fix a leaky faucet, a little bit of everything. So when they get in the home, they are not renting. They have to do all of that for themselves. And they also go through a program called Operation Hope, which is a nonprofit that does financial counseling, and they are required to do that once a month for 1 hour to make sure that they have goals set for their finances, be it paying down debt, having a savings account, making investments, whatever it is, to make them financially stable for a future as a homeowner.
That is incredible, but there's a little more to it than that. So again, you learn so much, but you have to put in the time, and that's what sweat equity. That's what those words mean.
So if you're selected, you are required to do 250 hours. So 250 hours of sweat equity. 200 of that is pre-built. So we won't even look at lots with you until you've completed 200 hours of sweat equity. And then after that, we go on a lot tour, and you get to pick where you want your home to be from our Rolodex of lots. And then at that point, there's 50 hours of construction where you work on your home, not in the typical way with a hammer. Much of that is done with cleaning up, painting, and other ways in the house during the construction process.
Does that increase that, I guess, sense of ownership for these individuals that go through the process?
It does, yes. And they get to pick their floor plan, and they can go in there and walk through the house as it's getting built, see the studs go up, see the tub go in. We are working on a house for a family right now, and she has a daughter that's about 4 years old. And we did the blessing this last weekend, and the daughter runs up to Penny, our Restore manager, and says, I have a bathtub. And it was just the most exciting, precious thing for her because she has a bathtub now.
What is the blessing? What is that?
So when the studs go up, so when all of the framing is done, we go in with family members, board members, committee members, community members, and you bless the house. So you can write words of wisdom, encouragement, joy, Bible verses, prayer, however you want to bless the family, and then it stays in with the house forever because then the drywall and the insulation goes in.
I'm curious too, once this process is done, so you go through the home ownership application process, you get selected, you do the sweat equity, the house goes up, the blessing, the house is finished. Do you drop the family, that's not the right wording, not the right verbiage, is it over for them at that point, or do they stick with Habitat for Humanity with anything else?
They are with us for 20 years. It is a 20-year 0% interest mortgage with us. There is a first mortgage, which is the payable mortgage, which is very cost effective. Typically, that is around $600 a month of payment with taxes and escrow. And then there's a second forgivable mortgage for the appraised value of the home. That's to protect the community's interest in Habitat for Humanity. So if you were to write us a check for $1,000 and we put someone in a house and they turn around and flip it, you're like, well, why did I give them $1,000? And then this family makes $200,000 on their home.
Okay.
So that's how we protect the interest of ourselves and the community and our sponsors. And every year, the new homeowner gains 5% equity of that full appraised value. So after 20 years, they've paid their payable loan off, but then they have full equity in the property.
That is wonderful.
Yes, I'm pretty new. I'm actually the newest member, and it's really very special.
Do they have the opportunity to attend additional classes?
They do.
Okay.
So right now, one of our families, like I said, we closed on their home, and they came to a class about wills, the importance of having a will last weekend. So
that is wonderful. Okay, now kind of flipping the script for those who would like to be a sponsor of a home.
Okay.
Who do they? Obviously, they reach out to Habitat for Humanity, but what is that process?
So they reach out to myself or Rob Selko. He's our executive director. And we can walk you through it. We have 3 levels of sponsorship: a full house sponsorship, a silver sponsorship, and then a bronze sponsorship. And the silver and bronze are co-sponsorships with the Restore.
Okay.
So if you put up part of the money, the Restore funds the rest of it.
Fantastic. So again, that is how the application process works on both sides, from those looking for home ownership here in the Montgomery County, Clarksville area, opening up today. It is January 27th. So if you see this after the fact, know that this opened up on January 27th, but will end February 10th. And you have to have your application in by the end of business day.
That's correct.
How do you select the 5 people?
So the families have to go through several levels of qualifications. In order to qualify, you have to have been a Montgomery County resident for at least 1 year, and you have to be over the age of 18. And that is with our program. So if you live in Rutherford County, there is a Habitat in Rutherford County. You would reach out to that Habitat. But if you don't live in Montgomery County and say you live in Elkton, Kentucky, that would be the first thing, and unfortunately you would not qualify for our program at this time. Policies can change, so check back next year. So after we know that you live in Montgomery County, then we do make sure that you qualify based on income. We are income based. And we serve low to extremely low income individuals. It's 25 to 50% of the AMI, which is the average median income. To find out what those numbers are, they're on that same website I rattled off earlier, or in one of our packets that we have here, and those are available in the Restore. I feel like I'm doing shameless plugs for the Restore at this point.
There is nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all.
So, you have to be able to afford a mortgage. So if there is no income, unfortunately, you can't pay a mortgage. So that would disqualify you. If you make $75,000 a year, that's significant. Great, good job, great for you. You make too much for our program, so you would be disqualified. After that, we do a credit check and a criminal and sex offender registry check. As long as your credit score is over 550, and you don't have more than $2,000 in delinquent debt, then you would move on to the next step as well. As long as you have not been convicted of a felony and don't appear on the sex offender registry, you would move on as well. So all of those are the first initial steps that we take. At that point, it goes to a committee, and the committees make the determination on whether you get a home visit. And then the committee members come visit your home, and they assess the need at that point. If you're living in a house with 10 bedrooms and gold faucets in all 5 of the bathrooms, you probably don't have the need as opposed to the people who don't have heat in their house.
Right.
So at that point, they determine which 5 families this year have the greatest need.
Kate, you've given us so much information. If you would like more, reach out or look at the website, habitatmctn.org. If you're not in the Clarksville, Montgomery County area, reach out to your local Habitat to see when their application process begins and ends. But again, right here in Montgomery County, it is from today, the 27th of January to February 10th. At the end of the business day, you need to have your applications in at that point. Kate Gauf, she is the operations director. Thank you so much for all that you shared with us.
Oh, thank you. But I do want to reiterate one quick thing.
Please do.
If you come to the Restore on February 11th at 9 a.m., we will not accept your application. Also, to apply, you have to have filled out the background check and credit check waiver. If you apply online, it'll force you to do that. And you have to support all of your documents, your supporting documents. Those supporting documents have to be in hand February 17th by 5 p.m. If you come February 18th with supporting documents, your application will be denied. What we do for one, we do for all is my biggest, I say it all the time.
And you know, I think that for most, that is the best way to do it. There's no special circumstances. Here's the deadline, here's the date. Have it in.
Yep. So.
All right. Anything else that you would like to maybe touch on before I let you go about the Restore here in Montgomery County?
So the Restore, I love the Restore. It is a thrift store, most of it. We do have some new products now, which is really cool. It really elevates the Restore. They fund many of the builds, as I mentioned before. If we don't have a funder, it's typically the Restore that does it. So donations that are made to the Restore and purchases made in the Restore go directly to building homes here in Montgomery County, Tennessee.
And you guys have some great stuff out there.
We do.
You're seeing that right now.
I usually put my blinders up when I walk through so I don't buy half of it. Yes.
I understand that. So, straight to the office.
Yes, don't look, don't look, don't look.
Wonderful. Kate, again, thank you for your time. When we come back from break, and as we head to break, you're going to see some pictures of houses that have gone up in previous years to new homeowners. Again, we appreciate all that you guys do here.
Thank you so much for everything. We appreciate you having us.
Oh, thank you. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Step into the Lionel retail store at Opry Mills, Nashville, and you'll be captivated by all the magic of the 123-year history of Lionel trains. Whether you're already a train enthusiast or just getting started, Lionel will energize your love for trains. NASCAR fan? Come check out your local Lionel station to learn all there is to know about model trains and die-cast NASCAR collectibles. Visit nashville.lionel.com or call 615-455-9399.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
Welcome back. Kate, thank you again so much for all the information that you provided on behalf of Habitat for Humanity. Here's another home in the process of being built as we speak. They're doing work. I could hear the hammers inside when I pulled up. If you would like more information about home ownership in the county that you're in, just head over to habitat.org. You can find the information for your local Habitat for Humanity right there. We wish all the applicants the best of luck. As always, thanks for joining us here at Mornings on Main Street. Have a fantastic rest of your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.